The line, the city of the future. In the heart of Saudi Arabia's empty quarter, a new civilization is rising. A city 170 kilometers long, 200 meters wide, and 500 meters tall. A city with no roads, no cars, no pollution. A city that promises zero carbon, zero noise, and zero sprawl. This is the line. The dream of a new civilization. For thousands of years, deserts have been barriers, heat, sand, and silence stretching endlessly. But today, Saudi Arabia wants to turn that silence into the birthplace of humanity's next great leap. The line is part of NEOM, a $500 billion mega-project announced in 2017 by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS. NEOM's mission sounds like science fiction, a futuristic region powered entirely by clean energy, built from scratch, using AI, robotics, and new forms of infrastructure. But the line is its greatest jewel. A city shaped like a single line. No streets, no intersections, no traffic, no traditional infrastructure. Instead, everything, homes, schools, hospitals, businesses, transportation, is stacked vertically inside a single mirrored structure running across mountains, coastlines, and deserts. They call it a revolution in civilization, a blueprint for the 21st century, a city that redefines how 9 million people can live together, with zero carbon and 100% efficiency. But behind the beauty lies an important question: why build a city like this at all? Why Saudi Arabia needs the line. To understand the line, we must look at Saudi Arabia's transformation. For generations, Saudi wealth came from oil. But oil demand is changing. Electric cars, renewable energy, and global climate goals are shifting the world away from fossil fuels. Saudi Arabia knows this. That's why the country created Vision 2030, an economic plan to modernize the kingdom, diversify its industries, and become a global hub for tourism, technology, and innovation. NEOM, and the line, is the boldest expression of this plan. The world's attention is also shifting toward the Middle East as a center of high-tech development. Dubai built the tallest building, Qatar built the most expensive sports infrastructure, and Saudi Arabia wants to build the future. But the line isn't only a project of ambition, it's a project of necessity. Climate change threatens traditional urban development. Half of Earth's population may soon live in high-heat stress zones. Urban areas are choking under pollution, traffic, and overcrowding. Cities consume 75% of global energy but cover only 2% of Earth's land. Saudi Arabia says, what if we designed cities differently? The design, a mirrored ribbon across the desert. The line is unlike anything ever attempted. Dimensions: 170 kilometers long, 200 meters wide, 500 meters tall, taller than most skyscrapers in the world, 9 million residents built on only 34 square kilometers of land, compared to cities like London which sprawl over 1,500 square kilometers. Architecture: the walls of the line are fully mirrored, reflecting the desert, mountains, and sea. From afar, the city blends into the landscape like a perfect geometric illusion. Inside, the structure is divided into 3 layers. Layer 1, pedestrian life. A continuous walkway spanning the entire 170 kilometers length. No cars, no noise. Just parks, shops, homes, and public spaces. Layer 2, service layer: logistics, maintenance, drone ports, recycling centers, and high-speed delivery systems. Layer 3, the backbone: transit, the heart of the line, an ultra-high-speed train capable of traveling from one end to the other in 20 minutes. That means, over 500 kilometers per hour speed. Citywide travel is instantaneous, no need for cars or airlines inside NEOM. In most cities, people lose hours in traffic. In the line, no journey is longer than 20 minutes. Everything you need, within a 5-minute walk. This is the 5-minute city concept. Every resident has access to schools, hospitals, shopping parks, workspaces, entertainment, all within a few minutes of their home. The technology inside the line is designed to run on 100% renewable energy, powered by solar farms, green hydrogen plants, wind energy cooling, and climate. The desert environment can be brutally hot, often reaching 45 degrees Celsius (113 degrees Fahrenheit). But the line uses natural ventilation tunnels, passive cooling, AI-controlled shading, high reflective glass. The city's narrow width creates a unique microclimate. Wind flows easily through the structure, reducing heat. AI, robotics and automation. The line aims to be the world's first fully automated city. AI manages energy, traffic, water usage, and emergency response. Robots handle deliveries, waste management, and infrastructure repairs. Autonomous taxis and pods move residents vertically and horizontally. Humans live in a city where machines do the heavy work. Water from the sea, desalination on mega scale. Saudi Arabia is one of the world leaders in desalination. NEOM uses solar-powered desalination to provide drinking water for agriculture cooling systems. This also reduces dependency on fossil fuels for water production. The line plans to recycle up to 95% of all water, far higher than any major city today. Community and lifestyle. Vertical living. The line compresses the footprint of a megacity into a narrow vertical space. This means no long commutes. High-density living without crowding. Nature surrounding both sides. Nature preserved because the city is narrow, only 2% of the land is used. The rest, mountains, deserts, and coastlines, remain untouched. The line becomes a city wrapped in nature, not built on top of it. Tourism. Visitors can walk through floating sports stadiums, vertical parks, hanging gardens, sky bridges, mountain observatories. The city becomes an attraction, not just a habitat. The engineering challenge of the century. Building the line is not like constructing a normal city. Foundations. The structure must stretch across mountains, valleys, fault lines, coastlines. Engineers are working with seismic isolation systems, deep foundation piles, adaptive structural joints. Transportation. The 170 kilometers high-speed rail must operate in a completely straight line with zero curvature, zero elevation change, extremely precise alignments. This alone is a global engineering first. Construction speed. Saudi Arabia wants major parts of NEOM operational by 2030. That means building at a pace the world has never seen. Simultaneous multi-zone construction, thousands of workers, robotics, prefabricated modules, vertical assembly lines, jobs, economy and global impact. NEOM is designed to become a global hub for AI research, renewable energy, biotechnology, sports film production, tourism, advanced industries, autonomous transportation, green hydrogen exports. Saudi Arabia aims to create 380,000 jobs, a multi-trillion-dollar economic zone, a new global tourism magnet. The line will attract engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, filmmakers, researchers. It will reshape the Middle Eastern labor market. The criticisms: is the line possible? Every ambitious vision faces doubts. Cost: some analysts estimate the line could cost over $1 trillion. Feasibility: can such a long, narrow city function efficiently? Will people feel trapped in a vertical corridor? Can renewable energy support the entire system? Can a straight 170 kilometers rail be maintained? Environmental questions: how will wildlife be affected? Can the mirrored wall alter bird migration? Will the construction damage the desert ecosystem? Speed: many wonder if it can really be built in the short timeline promised. The human side of the line. Megaprojects are not only engineering challenges, they involve people. Saudi Arabia plans to relocate thousands of residents living in the NEOM region. Critics argue about compensation, heritage, community displacement. Saudi Arabia says the project will uplift the region economically while preserving culture and traditions. The line versus the world, a new type of city. The line competes with modern megacities, Tokyo, New York, Shanghai, Dubai, Singapore, but instead of expanding outward, the line expands upward, redefining density. Urban planners worldwide are now studying the line as a model for zero-carbon cities, efficient land use, climate-resilient infrastructure. Even if the line is only partially completed, it may influence global architecture for decades. Imagine we travel to the year 2050. Morning. You wake up in a smart apartment where AI adjusts lighting and temperature. A robot delivers breakfast. You walk to work, 5 minutes away. Afternoon, you take a vertical transporter down 20 floors to a green park. You breathe fresh air recycled through advanced filtration systems. Evening, you visit a sky garden overlooking the mirrored walls glowing with sunset reflections. Night, you step onto the ultra-speed rail. In 10 minutes, you travel 80 kilometers to meet friends in a different zone, mountains, sea, or desert. Life becomes clean, efficient, fast, connected, sustainable. This is the civilization NEOM wants to create. The line is more than a city. It is a symbol of human ambition, a challenge to traditional urban design, a statement from Saudi Arabia: the future will be built here. A test of engineering limits, a global experiment in sustainability. Some call it impossible. Some call it visionary, but no one can ignore it. What if it succeeds? If the line succeeds, cities worldwide may copy its vertical design. Pollution could drop drastically, efficiency could redefine modern living, millions could live in climate-safe zones. Energy systems could shift to renewable hydrogen, urban sprawl could end, land could be returned to nature. The line could become the model for post-oil civilization. What if it fails? Even if the line fails to reach its full scale, parts of it may still become functional. Technological breakthroughs will still influence future cities. NEOM will still evolve into a major global region. Lessons learned will shape future megaprojects. Failure is unlikely to be total, but success could be historic. Closing. Desert's new mirror. The sun sets over the desert again. The mirrored walls of the line ignite with golden light, stretching endlessly like a portal to another world. Humanity has always built cities to survive. But the line is built to reinvent us. To change how we live, breathe, move, and think. A civilization in a straight line, a future rising from the sands. A promise that even in the hottest desert, the boldest dreams can rise and reshape the world. The camera pulls upward until the line becomes a thin silver thread across the earth, shining like a new chapter for humanity. Title: The Line, the City of the Future.